up, brother, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot, Head full of flies, so here come the clouds, They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost, Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, brother, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
Cathy, and we've been covering true crime and the case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old boy when he disappeared from his home on February 26, 2024 in Hendersonville, Tennessee, off of Stafford Court, and has not been seen for almost a year. He has since had his 16th birthday and went through all of the first holidays from Halloween to the New Year's, and there has been no sight of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. This case has taken a lot of twists and turns along the way, including the mom and stepdad hiring a team of disruptors and distractors known on social media for running interference in criminal cases. This has been very upsetting because many of us have been looking for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers or trying to elicit any information that'll help locate this young boy. His mom and stepdad, from everywhere we stand, never really looked for him, and a lot of people couldn't understand why they were hiding away from the public, why they were hiding away from searches, why it appeared they weren't doing really anything. And then we learned some devastating news that they've been trying to get rid of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers since October 2022, and there was 5 CPS reports since they moved into their home on Stafford Court. This kind of makes the situation, in my mind, a little more grave because we have that domestic abuse and child endangerment, child abuse, most likely child neglect. It doesn't appear, there's just a lot of things going on with this case that really bothers a lot of people. This unscrupulous PI has really done a number on people because many people trusted him. And he has let a lot of people down, and a lot of people have come to me and told me of their disappointment in this man they highly respected at one point in time. I don't know where this case is going to go. I still have a gut feeling that we are on the right track, and the mom truly did hurt her son, and the stepfather did truly cover it up. Now, again, that's just my opinion, which we're all entitled to believe the way we believe. We're all entitled to look into what we choose to look into and whether we believe what we're seeing or not. There's been a lot of smoke and mirrors in this case that have tried to deceive the public, tried to make them believe that what they were seeing wasn't what they were seeing. When all these distractions weren't working, they turn up the heat. They start posing for searches, but the team that they're working with are criminals. They have a lot of problems. They have substance abuse problems, among other things. They're abusive themselves. They have problems with their own children themselves. And it's hard for anybody to take this team seriously when their entire world and all of their problems are on full display for the world and social media to see. They've lost their credibility, and we still need to find Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. How do we do that? We go back to the beginning. We refocus ourselves. We get back to the maps. We get back to our conclusions. How are we going to find a boy until we figure out who took him? And once we find out who that person is, then you look into them, because wherever Sebastian is, it's going to be a place known to that person. That's why it's so important to look at the history, especially of the people that are persons of interest in the case. While I don't have a crystal ball and I don't know what is going to be happening in this case, I do have all the confidence in Seth having all the confidence in law enforcement and the detective handling his case. I believe that us, as well as a lot of great professionals that analyze these cases, I think we're analyzing it correctly. I think we're on the right track. And based upon the behaviors of the parents trying to shut me up, trying to shut everybody up that is making headway in this case, really is very telling. What we do know as fact, however, is that Seth has been searching for his son ever since his son disappeared. Seth has publicly taken a polygraph. He has publicly produced his work records. This man has done everything he could possibly do, including working with the FBI, working with me to advocate for his son, calling on the national media, getting Nick the Hat and Dog the Bounty Hunter, and we're here with what from the mom and stepfather? Nothing for almost 10 months. Shoddy searches at best, working with an unscrupulous PI, felons, and including one searcher utilizing substances, illicit substances, while searching for their son. I have to say that this is the most highly disturbing part of this case, is the mom and stepfather's behaviors and actions since this boy has been reported missing. Again, Sebastian Rogers has been missing since February 26, 2024. He has brown to dirty blonde hair, brown eyes. He stands about 5 foot, 5 inches tall. He weighs between 110 to 120 pounds. And again, last seen in Hendersonville, Tennessee. If you know where Sebastian Rogers is, please reach out to 1-800-TBI-FIND, your nearest local law enforcement office or the nearest FBI office. Can you help find this boy? Do you have information as to where he is or what happened to him? Please call today. There is a $250,000 reward for any information leading to his whereabouts or the successful prosecution of those responsible for his disappearance. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy the show today. We're going to be talking about a number of things, but I just want to say happy Saturday. God bless each and every one of you. And remember, if you're here watching, your day's a lot better than many people's. God bless. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment here on this video. God bless each and every one of you.
Well, good Saturday morning to all of you beautiful people sitting in my chat, waiting to get updated on information. It's good to see everybody. I am going to greet everybody personally in just a second, but I would like to get this new update out to you guys. It's not really a whole update, but it is from the sheriff. It did just drop. We've been monitoring this case. I went out to Fruitland, Idaho. I found information. I did a fact-finding trip, flyer and sign posting trip out there. And so we haven't had a whole lot of information since July of last year. So let me get this cleared off. So hopefully we can sync my lips up again, because it just keeps running and running and running and running and running. So here we go. This is, if you don't know who this man is, this is J.D. Huff, Police Chief J.D. Huff. Very nice guy. I got to meet him on my tour when I was requesting some public record information, and got to speak to him, shake his hand, and just thank him for his service. So this seems like the next step forward. We haven't had any charges against the 4 that they believe is responsible for not only the disappearance of Michael Monkey Vaughn, but also the death as well. So let's get an update from Police Chief Huff.
Case weighed on you in the last several years?
I can't really explain that in words, you know.
The Fruitland Police Department wants Idahoans to know it hasn't stopped looking for Michael Vaughn. The then 5-year-old known as Monkey disappeared from his home in July of 2021. Abby Davis has been following this story, and Abby, the chief, says they're still sifting through tips and conducting searches.
Jude, he says the case isn't cold even as the 4-year anniversary of Michael's disappearance approaches.
This is one of the worst case scenarios for any small city.
The disappearance of Michael Monkey Vaughn.
He is energetic, very inquisitive. He loves the moon and stars.
Brandy Neal's second youngest.
He wants answers to everything. He wants to know how everything works.
Neal wears reminders of him as she tries to make sense of all that's happened since the phone call from Monkey's dad that forever changed their lives in July 2021.
He was frantic and told me he couldn't find Michael.
I'd just gotten home from work. And
It's a day Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff will never forget either.
I received a phone call from my captain. He just explained that we had a missing child.
Huff says it soon became clear this case was different.
In those places where we would commonly see or find those children that were, lost for a little while, all of those areas have been checked, and Michael was not there. We started looking at it from the criminal aspect at that point.
And it just kind of all melds together. Just searching the questions, the worry. It felt like the whole world just stopped. And then kept going.
Huff says they've never stopped digging. The last major breakthrough in the case was more than 2 years ago. Crews dug up suspects Stacy and Sarah Wandra's backyard that sits just a few blocks from Michael's home. Police say they had credible information from someone living in the Wandra's house the young boy's body was there. Cadaver detection dogs alerted to human remains, but none were found.
You said that you guys believe he was buried in the Wandra's backyard and then potentially moved elsewhere. Is that still the case?
That's still my belief.
The Wandras are still suspects. So are Adrian Lucien and Brandon Shurtleff, who lived with the couple at their Red Wing Street house.
Were you involved in the disappearance of Michael Vaughn?
No.
In an interview with KTVB last year, Stacy said he didn't know anything about Michael's abduction or where the little boy is today.
I have no reason to hide anything from anybody. I'm not that type of person.
Stacy has been in and out of custody for a couple of years after pleading guilty to an unrelated gun crime, then violating conditions of a supervised release. Sarah is in prison until at least 2026 on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence unrelated to Michael's disappearance. Huff says he knows where Lucien and Shurtleff are, but wouldn't elaborate further on any of the suspects since it's an active investigation. He says he's confident the right people will one day be held accountable.
It's been said in the past that, no body, no crime. I would just tell you that I don't believe that holds water. And the only reason I say that is because with the volumes of circumstantial evidence that you can obtain.
We need that one piece, that one little piece to tell us where Michael is.
Do you have hope that they'll bring Michael home?
Yes. One way or another.
Huff believes there are people out there that know what happened to Michael or have information about his disappearance. The chief urges them to call or text this number with any tips, 208-343-COPS. You can also send an email to findmichael@fruitland.org. Jude?
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to go back just a little bit. I think it's right about here.
I would just tell you that I don't believe that holds water.
Okay, that is it. I want you guys to hear this. This is from a police chief. This is the way I believe as well.
No body, no crime. I would just tell you that I don't believe that holds water. And the only reason I say that is because with the volumes of circumstantial evidence that you can obtain.
We need
circumstantial evidence. That is what a lot of people keep forgetting about when it comes to these cases. Law enforcement has access to so much more circumstantial evidence than they do physical evidence this day and age. Think about it. You have your Apple Watches, you have your vehicles that monitor your movements, you have OnStar, everything you touch. We used to be a cash society. We are like, when my lawn man comes here, I tell him, you got to come here 2 days and let me know before you come. Because I don't have a schedule. It's when the yard needs to be mowed. That's my schedule. So my lawn man comes around here and asks, if you want your lawn mowed and stuff like that. And I'm like, because he's always jammed up for money. So I'm like, look, if you got to give me a day or two. I said, you don't take plastic. I don't carry cash. right? So what is that? What is your money now? Your money is a real-time tracking device because very little bit of us use cash. Cash is no longer king in our society anymore. I don't know if you noticed that. How many people, raise your hand, how many people have had cash in their pocket driving around to find a car? Right? I did that with my friend. You know what? Cash ain't king. No negotiation value whatsoever. Pay all in cash. Denise got it. She says, I only use cash. But and Lori, but for the many of us, we don't. Heck, listen to this. I didn't know this until I was at a rally in Georgia. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I was at a gas station and I put my card in. It let me pump gas. And I pumped gas all day long. And later that day, there was a text message from my bank. I misread it. I hit no when I should have hit yes. Well, they canceled my card out. I don't have cash. I have my card. I've never had a situation like this. I am freaking out. How am I going to get home with no credit card or cash? I was very thankful that it fell on a Thursday, so I was able to get up early and go to the bank on Friday. Well, listen to this. They already updated my new credit card in my Apple Pay. I was never out of cash. I just take my phone and stick it on that little plastic where it tells you where you can read the cards. You know, that little thing. Did you know that? You put your phone right there. You can take it to just about any ATM and stick your phone there if you have Apple Pay or Google Pay and withdraw money by syncing that with the system, the chip. Well, your phone's a walking chip. I didn't know that. So no matter where you go, I mean, you're easily tracked more so than you ever were, is my point. So there's so much more circumstantial evidence, which is why I always emphasize circumstantial evidence is evidence, folks. It is evidence. And sometimes circumstantial evidence is way more powerful than eyewitness testimony. And yes, you heard that correct. You are absolutely correct. So I want to say good morning to everybody. Give me just a moment. We got 500 people in chat, so I'm just going to scroll up as far as I can. And we're just going to take our time and say good morning to everybody. Before we do, we're going to do the language of letting go. If you're new to my channel, I read this language of letting go. It's basically designed for codependency, anything from codependency, gambling addictions, alcohol addictions, substance addictions. It can be applied in anything that you wish. And this is talking January 11th. It's talking about throw the ball. I think of letting go as being like throwing a baseball, a friend said to me. The problem is I don't want to let go of the ball. Hanging on to the ball is a temptation. We've got it in our hands. Why not keep it there? At least if you're dwelling on a problem, it feels like you're doing something, but we're not. We're just holding on the ball, and the chances are we're holding up the game. There's nothing wrong with trying to solve the problem or offering requested advice, but if we've done everything we could, there's nothing left to do but obsess. The person we need to stop is ourselves. Here are some rules. If you tried to solve the problem 3 times and obsessing doesn't count as a problem-solving skill, then stop yourself. Let go. Throw the ball, at least for today. If others ask for advice, give them the advice once, then throw the ball to them and say no more. If a person hasn't asked for advice, or if you've offered advice and were told no thanks, there's nothing to throw. The ball isn't even in your hands. Remember the time you've willingly let go? Think about how things worked out for you then. Now remember those times you resisted letting go? Whether you wanted to or not, Did you throw the ball in the end? God, please show me the benefit of letting go. We always talk about, and it's one of the hardest things, because even sometimes, many of us, we let our problems go and we act like they're balloons with strings, and we pull them back down and want to have control again. Sometimes it's just best to let things go, let things be, and see how things just fall into place. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. All right, guys, we have a few things that we are going to go over. Since I went kind of long in the intro, I think we're going to hit just some of the top cases. Obviously, Michael Monkey Vaughn is one of those cases. We haven't heard anything from that case in a really long time. I was very, very surprised that we got something, right? Crime Addict, it's nice to see you. Unicorn, Indiana, good morning. The Real Me Too, Pointed Lover, Lisa B, always good morning. Peggy is up in the house. Let me move this over so I can get that one off. That one's, I think, the one jacking up everything is that video we were just watching. They have so many advertisements on their page. I think that might have been it. And then, of course, I lost my audio. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just love StreamYard. I don't know what I would do without it besides smacking my head against the wall. Trisha, it's nice to see you. Caroline, good morning. Stephanie, it's nice to see you. VA is up in the house, and the VA is here. Chaos is right around the corner. So nice to see you guys. Jess Deb, Feisty Mama, Lisa C, Peggy Irwin, Agent 99. Dun, 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 dun. Renee, it's nice to see you. Me and you. Oh, look at this. Karen Farmer says Katie will crack soon under all the pressure. I would hope that the mental toll and mental pressure that she does all by herself should be enough. But, you know, I don't get it. Betty Finn is up in the house. It's nice to see you. Chica, live life to the fullest. It's nice to see you. Lisa, did I say hi, Feisty Mama? I think I did. Barb, it's nice to see you. I see another Peggy up in the house. It's nice to see you as well. Lisa C, good morning. Lori, she says, yep, not using Apple Pay because of being tracked. I know. You know me in privacy. I hate, the government's intrusion in my personal space, but I willingly give it up. All of us do. All of us do. Like, we could demand not to buy cars that doesn't have all this tracking software in it, right? But we'd lose our infotainment center, right? So we're not losing the infotainment console for privacy, right? We want to be able to do whatever we want on the go, right? So we could do something about it, but we all choose to give it up in some way, shape, or form. Even the ones that just hate Big Brother, right? Angela, it's nice to see you. The other Sharon, Whispering Winds, Brown Eye Girl, Truth in Time. It's nice to see you. Kendra, Carla, good morning, Carla. Smiling Sleuth is up in the house. It's kind of hard to be upset when you're always smiling, huh? Wheezy Girl, it's nice to see you. Truth in Time. Just Deb, I think I said hi to you. Oh, Lady Roses. In my opinion, I not think KP misses Sebastian as she got what she wanted. Faith and our narcissistic husband and his narcissistic parents' money. And I sure don't believe she is an innocent grieving mother, in my opinion. Thank you for your opinion, Miss Lady Roses. It's nice to see you. We got Seth Rogers up in the house. It's nice to see you, my friend. Good morning. Good morning. Gypsy is up here in the house. Nice to see you, love bug. Tracy, I think I said hi to everybody so far. Denise, Oakley, it's SRK. It's nice to see you. Niner Nana, 7 True. Good morning. Good morning. I know that Mr. and Mrs. Car Guy is up in here somewhere, and I don't remember saying their name in the last few days because we've been so busy with our shows. So I wanted to give a big shout out to them. Don't forget to keep Sonia, Mr. and Mrs. E and middle E in your prayers, your thoughts and prayers, and also pray for the ones that come here and don't tell us anything and suffer in silence. It's me, Laura. It's nice to see you. The other Sharon, Mama Bear. Good morning. Justin Shades. I like that. It's cool. Andrea, Tracy. Good morning. Izzy girl. I almost went right past you. I'm zooming. Look at that. Sorta Morta's up in the house. Nice to see you, Sorta Morta. Big hugs and kisses. Stephanie, it's nice to see you. How do you guys get that cool font? I kind of like that. I want to have cool font. You guys need to teach us, folks that aren't technologically savvy, how to do some of this stuff. That's kind of cool. Is that done on the settings on your phone? Like, how's that done? Samantha, thank you for reminding us. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button on your way in. Misty Moon, it's nice to see you. SPED teachers in the house. Trisha, it's nice to see you all. Sarah, Patty Lee. Is it Patty Lee? It's nice to see you. Mary. Hopefully I got everybody. There's Chaos. Bullet with butterfly wings. Ooh, nice. Busy Mama, Linda, Busted Flush. Didn't we once have a busted biscuit? Because I remember I was saying something to, and I don't know how it popped off. They started laughing at me, my friends. But I'm like busted biscuits. And then it dawned on me. I think didn't we used to have a name in here called Busted Biscuits? Or was that a troll or a mean person? Might have been a mean person. I don't know. I just remember it. So anyways, good morning, y'all. Good morning. We need to get moving. It's nice to see you all. I heard on another channel, not sure if I got the whole statement correct, but CP told KP, if you have to choose. I've heard that statement, Stephanie. That is, we have enough corroborating information that statement's true. Unless otherwise proven opposite. I'm telling you, I've heard that. I remember talking about it a while ago, and I believe we or somebody else corroborated that statement as fact. And I can't remember who it was, but that has been corroborated by multiple people. So yes, that is true, a true statement. He said, you're going to have to choose between him and me. Yes, that is true. Okay, so that was with JD Huff. This is, I want to tell you that I'm not going to go through the video with you guys because we're running out of time here. But remember the nurse that we covered that it was injuring the babies in the NICU? Apparently there's surveillance camera footage out about that. If you guys are interested in seeing it, we covered a case just briefly on this show about foster parents. Oops, let me add this to the screen here. About foster parents, a foster mom and a grandfather being unalived, and the foster mom's husband, the foster father, the foster dad, was also shot, but he survived. So the mom and the grandfather was a pastor. Long story short, 2 children were kidnapped. One of them was the biological child of the foster parents, and one was the biological child of the people that went and unalived the mom and the grandfather. But I just wanted to give you an update. They have been captured. The people, there they are. There's the 2 that lost their life, and you can just see. I mean, you can look in there. That's what I love about photos, videos, everything. You can see a lot with somebody's eyes. I truly do believe it is the I don't know, access to the soul, so to speak. I know there's another word for it, but there are the ones that are responsible for taking them out. And I've, not to be rude, but they just don't look like the savory, wholesome people. You know, there's a reason why this child was removed from these people's custody. And people were taking care of this child very well, and they were unalived. Tells a lot to people. Yes, Niner Nana. But you can just see that the mom and the grandfather seem to be very, very, very caring people. And this is just another, if you guys want to get updated on this, you can. I was going to read all of this, but we're running out of time here. So I'm just going to tell you guys about it. No past serious crimes reported at the home of the Foster family, site of the triple shooting in Ann Arbor. So again, if you guys would like to get some more information on this case, please consider doing so. Now, this is one we are going to play. This is a situation down in Jacksonville. The next ones are going to kind of, we're going to be covering because we talk about the subject matter so often. This one here is about a defense attorney being the smuggler into the jail. So I don't know how this, when I was listening to it, they were like, it was really weird because they seem to act like they don't have anything, but they have something. I don't know. I'll stop it when it gets to the kind of weird language that doesn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy.
Or Kevin Goff, Director of JSO's Department of Corrections, Ed Cayenne, Chief of JSO's Homeland Security Division, and Jordan Dowling, Commander of JSO's Narcotics and Vice Section. Together, we announced the outcome of a long-term investigation pertaining to the flow of illegal drugs in the Duval County Jail, Operation Stamp Collection. This investigation culminated in the arrest of Nathan Williams, who was a local criminal defense attorney. Williams was arrested at 10:35 p.m. Sunday evening for 8 third-degree felonies, 2 counts of giving any drug or controlled substance to an inmate of a county detention facility, 2 counts of giving or receiving written or recorded communication from an inmate of a county detention facility, 2 counts of conspiracy to introduce a controlled substance into a county detention facility, 2 counts of unlawful use of two-way communication device. This operation began.
I mean, this is pretty extensive. I can't believe any attorney would put themselves in legal hot water. I would never, as any type of attorney, it takes you so long and so much money to become an attorney. I don't know anybody, well, I have met a few that have jeopardized their license for a variety of reasons, but I don't understand why, because it takes so much time and effort to get it. I don't know. And you're taught what to do and what not to do. So people that violate their license intentionally do it.
And in February 2024, and utilize the undercover investigative resources of JSO's Narcotics Unit. Operation Stamp Collection commenced in response to an increase in drug overdoses in the Duval County Jail. Leadership in JSO's Department of
I want you guys to understand that he's talking about overdoses, okay? This is one point of contention I have, and I'll explain why. We're going to keep moving through this, but I want you guys to pay attention to overdoses, okay?
Corrections requested the specialized assistance of the Narcotics Unit to ferret out the flow of illegal drugs that were putting inmates' health and well-being in danger. Since February 2024, when this operation began, 21 individuals, including Williams, were arrested for charges related to the movement of illegal narcotics.
So 21 individuals. I don't know if they just let's keep listening.
Into the Duval County Jail. To be clear, we do not have direct evidence that any of these individuals were working in consort.
So they have 21 arrests. They did this undercover investigation. This is where it's kind of getting hinky for me. But they have no direct connection from one person to another. So they're basically saying 21 people were smuggling drugs into that facility. And they're not clarifying, were they all attorneys? Because this is getting very clouded, and I want to pay attention because things aren't hinky. When things don't sit right with me, I question them. So just take this at face value.
Using both the physical and telephonic access afforded to him as a criminal defense attorney, Williams coordinated with inmates and inmate family members to smuggle sheets of purported legal paperwork into the jail.
So they're saying that the paperwork, the paper that they were utilizing, was soaked in some type of narcotics that causes overdoses.
These sheets of paper were laced with ADB Pinica, which is a synthetic marijuana.
A synthetic marijuana. This is where the story, again, when I was reviewing it, I'm bringing it here because, one, it's surprising me that a criminal defense attorney would do this, not saying that he hasn't, but it was related to overdose deaths. And now he's talking about paper being soaked in synthetic marijuana. And to date, now somebody may need to send me a Google search or something, but to date, it's very, very unlikely to have an overdose death with only marijuana. Okay, so I'm still trying to figure out how all of this plays together, in all fairness. But in my brain, I mean, I'm worried about the stuff, things going into the jails because, most of these people, they're in jail because of their substance abuse. And this is a great time for them to get, some years behind them sober, and people are funneling crap in there. It's not good. And I'm sure other people have utilized this soaked paper method. This is not the first I've heard of the soaked paper method. As a matter of fact, we were listening to a bust where they were, I think, soaking undergarments or something like that in the, Andrea, that's it, in the Fent. So this is not the first time I've heard of things being soaked in something, but I'm just a little perplexed that it's a synthetic marijuana and we're talking about overdose deaths. So let's just keep listening and seeing if there's any more that dovetails this defense attorney in this. Again, I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he didn't. I don't know who he is. I have not looked into this case that much. I'm not that invested. I just thought it was an interesting little tidbit, but I did want to, make you guys pay attention or at least identify a few things that I have observed in these statements that just aren't sitting too right with me.
And a Schedule I controlled substance. It's known on the street as paper dope or K2. It's paper soaked in the liquid form of a synthetic marijuana and can be abused by the inmates.
Abused, but where is the like overdose, and is he having a press conference, but somebody that's smuggling in more illicit type of substances isn't? It's just making me feel like this is a little bit of a hit, if you know what I mean, like a smear campaign of sorts. I'm not sure, but this is just kind of the vibe I got when I was watching this, and I don't ever want to be disrespectful to law enforcement or anything, but we started off with people ODing and 21 people being arrested and no connection from one of those people to the other. And I bet you the majority of those people that were arrested were actual, bad people that should have probably been right next to whoever they were dropping it off to. But somehow this attorney got swept up in it. So I just want to be cautious. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say.
This investigation revealed that Williams was delivering these drug-soaked sheets of paper to the jail in exchange for monetary payments. This is an active investigation, so I will not provide any additional details about this operation, but we do anticipate additional arrests.
But the only one out of the 21 people arrested that got the press conference was the criminal defense attorney. Again, I just feel like it's a little bit of a hit piece. That's basically all I'm going to say. This is just a quick little update. This teenager here is being sought after by Chicago, missing. I can't remember. Yeah, search underway for missing teens in South Shore. So I just thought I'd give a few moments. If anybody is in the area, knows who this teen is, or sees this child anywhere, please reach out to your local law enforcement. And another disturbing blow to the state of Florida. I don't know if you guys remember. I lost my audio again. I can't stand. It's just frustrating. So we had petitioned to have, RSOs have a certain decal or something put on their driver's license. So when law enforcement saw them, pulled them over, or whatever, they would be identified. Just something to identify these folks, because we know most of these RSOs will never get better. I believe our country has tried to rehabilitate. We've learned that type of situation doesn't get really rehabilitated. So long story short, this went to, when it was supposed to be going into law, and apparently did go into law, and the divided appeal court shoots this requirement down. So now this will not be on anybody's driver's license here. It is a blow. We work very hard to try throughout this country to find ways to protect our children, because this was what I was trying to show you yesterday. All day, every day. This is in the newspaper every single day, 13 hours ago, 16 hours ago, 12 hours ago, 17 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 22 hours ago, 19 hours ago. And it's got 5 pages. And that's just today, of all of these horrible things that are done to children. So, we do try to do things that help protect our children. And we also have people's individual rights that we all utilize them. I know I stand, on my rights. I don't want anybody taking my rights away from me. And so people have rights, and they're afforded the Constitution, and that Constitution has to be applied whether we like it or not. And so Florida is saying that this is too much of an overreach, and cannot happen. So that's just where we are, but it never stops you never stop trying, because you just never know at what point some of these things will be able to pass the muster and get into our justice system. And that's really what we want. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else here that I really want to go over, or that I need to go over. No, I think these are fine. No. Okay. I think we're done with everything that we had going on for right now. I have a couple more cases, but they're not really important, in all fairness. I mean, they've already happened. There's already resolution to them. I was just going to show you the story if we had some time, but we're kind of out of time at this point to go over that. So we're going to get over to the topic of conversation. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. We're going to go over some of the case details. I've tried to write them down as clear as possible. He was age 15 at the time of his disappearance. The date of his disappearance was February 26th. That is what has been going on. Now, I was using February 25th, because that's the last time on record that we've heard that the mother last seen her child. According to the mother's statement, which we've all are fairly familiar with, basically Sebastian went to bed, say around 9. And when she went in there at 6 a.m., he was not there. So the last time anybody from the family has physically laid eyes on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, according to the statements, whether we believe the statements or not, but according to the records, is 9 p.m. the night before on February 25th. Now, no matter whether the thud was there, sounds were there, or whatever, that's when we have, from all of the interviews, can deduct from what the statement was to law enforcement. 9 p.m., did not see him after that. But on Jennifer Coffindaffer's show, she kind of explained the 26th, and I kind of like it. I'll have to find it I won't have it for this show here, but we will listen to it. And I did like the statement that she made. Then please leave by all means. Here, let me help you. I do like how she stated February 26th. So I actually might go back to February 26th as opposed to February 25th. He disappeared from Hendersonville, Tennessee. His physical characteristics, like the intro video said, he is one thing I left out is a white male, but we had the photo. So white male, 5 foot 5 inches tall, 120 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, wears glasses. Diagnosed with autism and 6q27 chromosome deletion syndrome. I looked it up because it was driving me nuts that I couldn't remember what chromosome deletion syndrome he had. And the 6q27, we did do a show on it, and it explains a lot. I didn't understand what it is. I wanted to learn a little more. We did one quick show on it. I'll try to find that for another show so we can go over it again for the people that have never seen it. So the case details is last seen by his mother, Cathy Proudfoot, when he went to bed around 9 p.m. on February 25th. When she tried to wake him for school the next morning, he was gone. Initial actions. An endangered child alert was issued at 11:17 a.m. on February 26th by the TBI, followed by an Amber Alert on February 27, suggesting a possible abduction, which we've all had an opportunity to discuss. But there's more information, and I want to, again, I'll go back and get the Jennifer Coffindaffer, and that's probably what we'll discuss after church tomorrow, is about this whole issuing of the Amber Alert, because that was also in that last slide, not the last slide, but the live before last, I believe. But that the Amber Alert was the 27th. He was reported missing on the 26th, and just an endangered child alert was issued. And then it was upgraded to an Amber Alert the next day. Search efforts. Extensive searches were conducted involving law enforcement, volunteers, canine units, drones, helicopters. I believe there was ATVs and horseback as well. No evidence of foul play was initially found, but not ruled out. According, in the investigation, home security footage showed 2 specks of light outside of the family home around 3:10 a.m., suggesting possible activity. A search dog traced his scent to a construction site, but it wasn't his scent. It was, later learned that it was a ground disturbance tracking dog. So it wasn't a scent dog and did not have Sebastian's scent. So I want to make sure we clarify that, and that's for Max. Max was the dog that was out there. To the construction site, which was a false lead. Investigations extended to a landfill in Kentucky, where the trash from the neighborhood was taken as a precautionary measure. Another statement that Jennifer Coffindaffer expressed: there is no precautionary measures to get a search warrant for a landfill. So based upon that, they must have had something more than we know. And there was always this confusion about that landfill, because so many people said that's not the landfill that community goes to, that it is the construction site's landfill. So I think we're even skewing some of that, and that's from the locals. That's what the locals have said, that their garbage in that community does not go to the Kentucky landfill. However, the dumpsters and garbage over in the new community does. That's what I was always told from the beginning. But you do your own research, come up with your own conclusions on that. Notable leads: a photo from the rest stop in North Carolina was investigated and found not to be credible. It was not Sebastian. And also glasses found during the search effort were initially thought to be Sebastian, but were not confirmed to be. The parents: his mother, Cathy Proudfoot, stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, were cooperative in the investigation. His biological father, Seth Rogers, was actively involved in public appeal for his son's return. public and media, the case attracted significant attention with various theories and speculation, particularly here on social media. Legal action. Obviously, I was brought into legal action for my commentary on my show, and going there and getting film and rolls and B-roll for my show. So we're not going to go into that. Current status, no confirmed sightings or substantial leads have been reported. The case remains open with ongoing investigations, but no significant updates. And that has been true. Now we're going to go over just the chronological order of kind of things briefly. On February 25th, he was seen by his mother before going to bed. February 26th, the morning, Sebastian noticed missing. His mother goes to wake him up. By 11:17, an endangered child alert is issued by TBI. The next day, an Amber Alert is issued suggesting possible abduction. Massive search efforts begin with extensive resources. March 4th. Okay, so it was March 27th. March 4th. Let's jump ahead to March 4th. Ground searches are scaled back, and this moves over to the investigative side. March 7th, search extends to the landfill. March 10th, Seth Rogers expresses concern about potential foul play. March 13th, the home security, and actually that's March 14th. I must have did a typo there. The lights in the back of the house emerges on Nick Barris's Facebook site. April 12th, a press conference confirms no evidence of foul play, but no leads saying there's no foul play. So they don't know what they don't know. Ongoing cooperation from the parents were expressed on that April 2nd, 2024 press conference. May 3rd, investigation into photo of the North Carolina, which was believed to be Sebastian. That was confirmed not to be. On May 6th, confirmation of various items found, including pants. And it states do not belong to Sebastian, but I don't know how they confirm that without DNA. August 5th, that's when Katie files the first protective order, which was, over 30 days after I had left the area, but she's so scared of her life. But I digress on that. Either way, that's what happened, and that's where we were. And then, of course, all the court proceedings after that. December 13th, Sumner County addresses speculation about the green shirt hoodie gal at the Texas Roadhouse and confirm no link to the disappearance, allegedly. So that really is just the quick update for those that are tuning in. And of course, our show is the circus that this case has really cultivated and created. And it is really quite upsetting to see played out in real time. Now, we did get some updates. I don't know if you guys were here with me yesterday. It sounds like the unscrupulous PI is going on the Lore Lodge on January 20th at 7 p.m. So you guys are going to want to mark your calendars. Oh, allegedly with Brittany, you're up. I was with you yesterday. You were last night. I fell asleep watching you. I put you on the TV, and apparently it must have just shuffled all of your videos, because I went to bed listening to you and I woke up listening to you. And then I'm reading the next comment you make saying karma is a beautiful thing. I'm just saying. Oh, good gracious. Did you read the text I sent you? Because I went to sleep before and I didn't know, because I'm going to be reading it here in just a second. So I didn't know if you had read them last night or not. Oh, good gracious. Now Brit's in your head, Betty. I know, right? Well, it was just funny because I'm like, she's still alive? I did. It was like 5:30 this morning. And I'm looking at, she's still, I'm like, is she still talking? Damn, she's got some pipes, and then I'm like, no, she can't be on. So I'm getting on my phone. I'm like, is she on? I'm going to go into the chat and say something to her. And I looked and I realized it must have been it must have rolled over because you weren't live. You weren't live. It was funny. It was funny. So anyways, the circus that this has created, but getting back to Brittany's, I'm going to go over some things because remember at the beginning of the case, well, it really wasn't at the beginning of the case. It was when Miss Bobby had her first interview. Excuse me. Something like well, Miss Bobby was saying how that morning that Sebastian disappeared, she could not find the original post from Katie. She could find the other one telling them to search this or that, but the original post that she said was just, a few things. My son's missing. He's autistic or something like that. It was really rushed, and it was only after law enforcement got there. Do you guys remember that? Well, we might have to go back and listen to that statement from her. But either way, this has turned into a circus, but we need to get back to the details of this case. And I think what happens is every time we prove these idiots wrong, all they do is just ramp up more disinformation and misinformation, right? They start doing this thing called mocking other creators. And I want to read the mockery card. If you guys weren't here for the deception deck, we went through it. And I think the mockery card really needs to stand out when it comes to some of these creators, because at the end of the day, that's what they're doing. And why would they be mocking people trying to look for someone, trying to look for a missing boy? Now, granted, whether they are whatever, whoever they believe did whatever, right? It's funny that they're standing by people that are presently accused of abusing a boy while screaming to another parent and condemning the other parent for potential past abuse, not current abuse, which I find just really, really bad. So let's read this card. This is the mockery card. We watch them do it, right? Every time you guys have had conversations with people in chat, you have an educated response to them, and they go to insulting you and mocking you, right? Yeah. How many people have experienced that? Put a 1 in the chat if you yourself have experienced being mocked when you were truly just debating the issues, not the person. If that has been the case for you, related to this case or any other case, put a 1 in the chat for me. I really hope Aiden sorts him out good and proper. Okay, so everybody's we're starting to get some numbers in here. Yeah, I think we've all experienced it. We all, we are trying to have an intelligent conversation with unintelligent people. It never really works out. It just doesn't. And so those unintelligent people go to mocking you or insulting you, right? And we wonder, it's like, wait a minute, why are you, if you've got the intel, you know what you're talking about, why do you have to insult people? Why don't you just bring the receipts and be done with it and shut somebody up properly? Why does it got to go to the insults and mocking, right? Let's read this mockery card. We read it yesterday, but I really want to read it today because I want to isolate this card. It says, when faced with accusations, liars often try to discredit or intimidate their accusers, lacking factual evidence to defend themselves. In contrast, truthful individuals usually respond quickly with direct denials and provide concrete evidence to support their assertions. So that is the reason why you are being mocked in those chats. Because liars often try to discredit and intimidate you. Because they're lacking factual evidence to defend themselves. That's why I always tell you, when you start getting insulted and mocked, you've already won the argument. You've already won the argument. And so I figured this out. This is what the A team does. When you disagree with them, they like to intimidate and misinform. So we've got to figure it out. We've got it figured out. And who does that? Liars. This said liars on the card. Did you guys hear me say that? If you guys heard me say that, put a hand or a heart in the it said liars. So either put a hand or a green heart in the chat if you heard me read liars. Liars often. You know what that implies? That implies they knowingly are peddling around this false information. So that means the people that are insulting you, that's not even these parents. They know they're wrong. They know they're wrong. Because you can't be a liar if you're just ignorant. It didn't say ignorant people do this. It said liars do this. And liars know that they are lying. All right. So let me get on with this. This is statements going back to the whole situation of that first post, that very first post that none of us has seen. Lauren from Facebook got her hands on it. And now for the first time, we've been able to read it in its entirety. Here is the original post that we've never been able to see that Katie put out to the public. It said, emergency, please, if anyone has a camera, please check it between midnight and 6. My son is missing. Please, if you can check anything that may help find him. He's 5'5", blonde hair, autistic male. That was the original post that nobody could find, that apparently was deleted from Facebook. Have to get creative. I'm getting mobbed by YouTube. Oh, good gracious, get out. Like he's a dog broken out of the case. What are you guys talking about? Oh my gosh, like I want to be in here. I think my chat is really interesting. I bet you we could stay entertained just on your responses alone. I know. That's what I said. Blonde hair. They said it's a dirty blonde to light brown. So but I think it's more, in my opinion, I think it's more on the brown side, like the light brown, than it is on the dark blonde side. Just me personally. But I only see photos of them. Yes, they have secrets, which is why they are deflect attention from them. This says, we need someone with deep pockets to get in here and start offering people more money than what the guilty is paying them, in my opinion. That'll get... Well, I don't know. $250,000 is a lot of money. I mean, $250,000 is life-changing money. It's literally... You wake up one morning, you are living on the side of the road. You wake up the next morning, you have money to purchase a house and a new car. I mean, it's literally life-changing. It's literally life-changing. Hobo's Life says, we live in Tennessee. We built a snowman and named him Sebastian. Aww, that is so sweet. That is so, so, so sweet. Thank you. That is awesome. You should send me a photo of it. I want to see Sebastian the snowman. His eyes are brown. His eyes are brown. And he's wearing glasses. I mean, that seems like a very physical feature that you would want something that's visible for people to know. What's so odd about this is we've learned from the neighbors that none of the neighbors really knew him. They knew of him. They didn't know him. They never saw him. So it's not like she's speaking to people that would recognize her son. It's very, I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? The flip side is that, and you know that the hate channels are going to come back with it. Well, you know, she was probably frantic and this, that, and the other. Well, it seems like she made sure she got her punctuations in here. You know, I mean, that's all I'm saying. I don't know if my spelling would be so perfect or I'd have the proper punctuations in here when I'm frantic. And this seems to be very well articulated with a lot of critical information missing. Just saying. I could be wrong. His weight changed from 120 to 113 and a half. Who changed it? I don't always agree with Jennifer Coffindaffer. She's good on a lot of stuff. I do respect her, but formulate my own opinion. I think everybody should take everybody's. You know, you got to understand that Jennifer Coffindaffer, in all fairness, is just providing you her opinion based upon her expertise and experience. That's all she's doing. And just like statistics, it doesn't mean it's going to happen that way at all, right? It's happened that way before. It could happen that way in the future. It doesn't mean that that's going to happen. She's just providing an opinion, okay? She's providing an opinion, but she has the proper experience and resume to provide that opinion. What we find in a lot of these things is a lot of these people, especially ones that want to beat her up, have no education or no experience in providing an opinion such as hers, yet criticize her for providing an opinion. But they're allowed to provide their opinion, their very uneducated opinion that's not saturated in fact and has no basis, and there's no receipts that can be produced. I do like Jennifer, and I agree with you, Caroline. You got to take it, take their experience and their knowledge, and you've got to formulate your own opinion. The good news is she doesn't just tell you what she thinks. She tells you why she gets there, what makes her think that, or how she gets there. And that's where you can learn a lot of information, because you may think of a different solution on getting to a different outcome, So I like listening to her, but no, I don't think I agree 100% with anybody on anything, you know, and we all still watch each other because it makes our brains think, you know, it gives us new information. And not only that, but somebody might have a detail that you didn't have, or you forgot about, or you didn't see, or you overlooked, right? My kids have dirty blonde hair. It's darker, almost brown in the winter, but lightens up in the summer. Yeah, but we were in the winter. Now this is a an enhanced photo, and I noticed that it did darken his hair up a little bit. This is not his hair. His hair on the original photo was a little bit lighter, but it still had the brown tone to it. I think more brown than blonde. I mean, the only photos that I saw that I would really classify him as blonde was when he was younger. Sebastian's hair will end up being as dark as mine, but I was a towhead growing up as well. Gotcha. I believe whether it happened to Sebastian happened before midnight, 3 a.m. is them hiding what happened, in my opinion. There's something with that. And you know what? I'm trying to find if somebody can get a site, if you have a truck like this, okay? If you have a Chevrolet 2500 diesel truck, short bed, 2020 to 2022. If you own that type of truck, could you send me a side photo of your truck? I need a side photo with the front to the left. Like when you're looking at the car, the front of it is the left, and the bed is on the right side of the photo. That's what I need. I need it. I need the hood to the left and the bed to the right of the photo. I need it, and I need it taken just like that from the side angle. I tried to pull one off the internet, and I've been looking and looking, and they don't have the specific side angle I need. So again, if you have a 2020 to 2022 Chevrolet HD 2500 pickup truck, short bed, please send me your side view of your truck. I'd greatly appreciate it. And make sure you let me know what year you have. My opinion of Coffin Doffer has nothing to do with her background on the cases or Sebastian. It's her attacking innocent people on her ex account with slander and false accusations. Well, I have not seen that, and I think what people fail to understand, and us as content creators, and the nastiness that comes from some people, I think even people that are just innocently you've seen it on my channel if you've been here with me for any amount of time, where I will misread something and I will go off on something, and they never even intended like that. And I think that has a lot to do with the abuse that we have, verbal and otherwise, that we have to deal with being on these platforms. So I would, ask for people for their grace. You don't know what kind of day somebody has. And I can tell you, she's not very new on, she's in the grand scheme of things, she's fairly new on just about every social media platform. So I'm sure she's trying very hard to manage it, but I can tell you it's hard sometimes. So I wouldn't judge somebody on one little snap or nasty comment, because quite frankly, I can personally tell you, I have chewed somebody out that did not deserve to be chewed out right live on this show. It happens. Okay. It happens. So, and it was just misreading something. So I'm just saying, show a little grace, if you can put up with Bullhorn Betty, Renee, you should be. I'm just being realistic here. Just a mild observation over here. I don't think Jennifer Coffin Doffer could ever be ruder than Bullhorn Betty. I'm sorry. I really just don't believe it. I'm sorry. I tell you, I try to be as honest with you guys as possible. And I just don't say, and Renee, you put up with my shit. Just saying. Renee's probably, she's probably sitting, I can see Renee behind the screen saying, that Betty's probably right. I put up with a lot of her shit. Oh no, I've never seen it being that nasty, Renee. Wow. I told somebody to go F off. I think it was just yesterday or the day before, and then I blocked them. I won't lie. And I'm pretty sure it was on X. I'm sorry that you had that experience. I'm not making light of it, Renee. I'm not making light. Well, I kind of am. I'm not meaning to in that sense, but yeah, I'm just actually kind of shocked. I've never seen that side of her. I mean, we all know I got that side, but I'm shocked. I'm shocked. But hey, if it's just one or two times, I don't know. You probably know better than me. If it's just one or two times, I would have to say maybe it's the day, but who knows? Who knows? I didn't see it, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry. BHB, somehow I managed to raise girls that are far ruder than you. Meet my sis. Oh, I'm just joking, sissy. I'm just joking, sissy. I was going to say meet my sister. I'm just joking. She's sweet. She's sweet. MTV, I saw that interview. It was good. It was good. Okay, so now getting on to the other thing. Listen to this. This is also on Lauren from Facebook's page. And I don't know how I did not see this, y'all. But now that after I see it, I am literally, I feel like the emotion is pissed off, frustration, anger. I've never seen this post before. I don't know why I didn't see this post. I think they said because she deleted it, maybe. Yeah, an old deleted post from Aunt Melissa, the clear victim in Sebastian's disappearance, right? She's acting like she's the victim. So maybe that's why I never seen this. I don't know how Lauren from Facebook got it, but God bless her for getting it. And when I read it, like I've read just about all of these emails up front. We've read a lot of these things on this show multiple times. I've got the one where she's out there at 6:34, posting, we've been looking since, whatever, we need people here. We got a missing child. I think he might have opened up a car door and got in a car and slept and drove to the different side of the county. I'm just thinking outside the box. Okay, I'm being a little exaggerated. I don't know. It's something like that, but not as exaggerated as that. But I saw that one. But this one here, I've never seen. And I ended up sending this over last night because I saw the other one and this one at the same time. And I about fell over. I'm thinking, we've already seen Terry Bowersox post of him talking about his step-grandson and how many squirrels are in the yard. Depends on how his attention is, which was, again, just shows you how comfortable these people are speaking so poorly about Sebastian and not even realizing how the rest of the world takes their actions and their speech toward him. I think it's abusive. I personally think it's abusive to constantly humiliate a person day and night. I think that's abuse in and of itself. And it sounds like this whole family did not really care for Sebastian because he was different. But listen to this post. I'm going to read this for you. I'm going to try to blow it up just a little bit so you guys can see it. Let's just take up the whole, if I can take up the whole screen. Hopefully it's not too blurry on your end. It's getting a little blurry on my end. So I have to imagine if you're on a TV, it's probably a lot more blurry for you. It says, this is from Aunt Melissa. I am so sick of people blaming me for the actions of a 15-year-old boy. The actions of a 15-year-old boy. She is being blamed for the actions of a 15-year-old boy who left his house in the middle of the night. Victim shaming and blaming. Aunt Melissa. I am so sick of people blaming me for the actions of a 15-year-old boy who left his house in the middle of the night. Stop posting anything, or I stopped posting anything much on social media for this reason. I had nothing to do with anything, and yet people want to blame and harass me. The police office, when filing the report for my mailbox, asked if I posted it on Facebook to see if anyone knows who owns this van, and that is what I have done. Just because we are not doing what you feel you would do, you feel this thing is something over here, blank, need you attack me on here. I don't know what it's behind this thing. We've gone out and looked in the beginning, and we have handed out flyers, posted signs, and had followed all the rules the FBI, TBI, and CSCO has instructed us to do. Can anybody tell me or provide me with the receipt where Aunt Melissa had ever been out there searching? Does anybody have a photo of her in news video clips, newspaper clips? Because everybody that I spoke to that was boots on the grounds when they found out locally that this child was missing and wanted to help, they never recalled any family being out there with them. I feel so bad for Sebastian Rogers. I'm very happy that he got to spend, every other weekend with his dads, and I bet you he valued those a lot from the way it looks from here. I would hate to go home after going to my father's house and having my own room and being spoke to and having a conversation and feeling valued, going fishing, going to parks, and then have to go over to a house that thinks I'm an artard and makes me sit in my room and I'm always in trouble. Right? I think if I was him, I would never want to leave my dad's house. Probably the reason why in those statements it says the only place he felt safe was his dad's house, but everybody forgets that. Everybody forgets that. This family has lied, deceived, tried to be something in the public's eye. No, in the media's eye. But the public, because it's such a small community, everybody knows what everybody had for breakfast. These people know that they never seen these people out there looking. Heck, we can't even get them to speak decent of a child that's missing. We can't really get them to even say one good thing about the child, other than he plays chess well. That's what we get. And then we got the bumbling idiots elicited for help by the mom and stepdad, wreaking havoc in this case when a father's just trying to find out where his son is. And let's face it, like my intro video stated, if this child walked out of the home, he would, well, I guess the intro video didn't say, he would have been found. He would have been found by now. We've got people that know more than they're saying. This child wasn't around a whole lot of people. The pool of people that could have done this is very small. Very small. Why? Because this child was not alone. This child went to school, got up with his parents, came home, checked in, right? Everybody is talking about how Sebastian stays home here and there when his father's left him home to go grocery shopping. So is his mother. His mother also leaves him at home while she's at work. They should question Melissa's child. You mean the teenage child? Teenager? The one that might be going to college soon? I could probably use a free ride and a scholarship. Just saying. Just saying. And I lost all my stuff that I was doing on Facebook, and I don't know why it does that. Let's read the rest of this post. What else does it say? So just because we're not doing what you feel you would do, you feel like you need, I think it's like you need to attack me on here. We have gone out and looked in the beginning, and we have handed out flyers, posted signs, even walked out to your freaking yard and put a sign in your yard. Congratulations on that. They followed the rules, they said, that they have been instructed. So does that mean if she's saying we followed the rules, the FBI, TBI, Sumner County Sheriff has instructed us to do, that would imply she's spoken to these people, right? We all have spoke to LE as well as granted any request that was made. People keep acting like the police aren't doing their job. They are. I'm not here to argue with anybody. You are allowed to have your opinions, but you can keep them to yourself. Well, I think Aunt Melissa is a big old piece of work. I think she's garbage, much like the rest of her family, quite frankly. I don't really have a whole lot of regard for their entire family. I've looked into just about every last one of them, and every last one of them outside of Cathy, unless she's got something earlier on that I can't see, has a criminal record. So, I mean, we all have, but I'm not impartial to criminal records. I'm only impartial to people that have criminal records and missing children. I mean, just to tell you, I really don't care about anybody else's. You redeemed yourself, right? Redeeming qualities are great. But, usually people that have problems and they have history and child, goes missing, then it is my assessment they most likely didn't redeem themselves very well. I'm just saying, I think I've redeemed myself. I've never had a missing child on, to me, right? As a matter of fact, I had very loving grandchildren that like to beat the crap out of themselves and stand in corners. I don't know why they like to do that, but they did. They loved the corners. All they had to do was quit hitting each other, and they could have availed themselves from corners. But apparently, they liked hanging out in the corners. I don't get it. I don't get the teenagers. Actually, the youngsters, they weren't teenagers then. Good gracious, I wish they were. I could buy them a car and send them off instead of having to put them in a corner, listen to them cry. Their lack of concern, it's not even lack of concern. It's everything. Them perfectly willing and ready to just move on with life. When this is them. That's them. They're just waiting for the piece of paper to tell them they can get back to their life. That's it. They're waiting for the piece of paper to come in the mail so they can just move on with their life. I mean, we've heard, like even on ETs, that wasn't the first time we heard about grieving and moving on, right? It wasn't a surprise to me because we've heard those statements before on other channels. They're just ready to move on. And many of us, I mean, you guys hear people that call into this show. You yourself hear the people that call into this show. You guys know that it strikes a chord with some of these people very deeply. It strikes a chord with all of us. Every last one of us, this case is striking a chord with. We have our own personal experience, like the grandma that called and, lost her 5-month-old grandbaby. She loves her grandbaby. She wants to see her, and these people are just fine with moving on with life without theirs. People don't understand how that's possible, how people can think like that. Like, quite frankly, I'm very curious of the brain in people like that. Like, what makes them just not give a shit? Every now and again, I won't lie to you. Every now and again, I wish I had a dose of I don't give a shit, right? So I'm curious. How do you just not care? Because I sure every now and again just want a dose of I don't care, right? Have no problems. Just be able to move on. Forget about somebody and move on. I can't stand my ex. I'll be honest with you. Can't stand him. I want to vomit every time I hear his voice, right? I just want to move on. Well, it's been over a year now. I'm still sitting here, right? Because it takes time to get over things. It takes a lot of time to get over things, especially when you're hurting. So, yeah, you just don't get over a kid. You're just not ready to move on. What does it say? Poor Sebastian, come on, please, stinky feet, Bowersox. Where is the kiddo? Tell us the dang truth. Yeah. Poop in one hand and wish in the other. See which one fills up faster. Karen Farmer, Katie will crack soon under pressure. Will crack soon under all the pressure. Hobo's Life, thank you so much for the super sticker. We live in Tennessee. We built a snowman named Sebastian. We are Sebastian's Army. Thank you so much. And our beautiful Melanie, thank you for the super sticker, y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just want to thank everybody for being here. We are going to be moving this case for this is what I'm thinking we're going to do. We are going back in my shows, in my live shows, and we are going to take the live that we did last before the protective orders, the last 3 shows, and we are going to play them on here. That's going to be my only show, is to play those old shows, right? We're going to do it for 3 days, and then we're going to talk about the reasons for the protective orders. I think that will be kind of interesting. So I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I think we need to do that because I think that needs to be our starting point for us getting back to Sebastian, because we had to have been onto something. And look at all this. Here we are. It's January, and we've all kind of got sidetracked since August. So we need to go back to August. We need to start working back there. We're going to start getting back on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. We're no longer going to be engaging in the hate channels because there's no point. All it's doing is making them feel important. They're not important. They're pieces of shit. They work for horrible people, and we're deplatforming them here in the true crime genre. They can keep talking all they want, but we're deplatforming. They can go back to whatever hate cult they're from, but we're not going to be engaging in it. And I'm going to challenge all the other content creators out there to start doing the same thing. We know that this unscrupulous PI will be on I won't believe he's there until he's there, because he's such a manipulating person that I feel like he's going to wait until the day before and say, I can't do this, or find a reason to say, well, this isn't being done the way I want it to be done, so I'm not coming up there. Like, I can already foresee him backing out or trying to find a way to back out, or manipulating some type of finagling routine. I just don't trust him. But either way, if he's there, he's there. If he's not, I'm sure the Lore Lodge can go on without him, but it will be very well noted if he is missing, and there will be no excuse that will be acceptable for his absence. He will be classified as full of shit from that point forward, and nobody, and I mean nobody, will have anything to do with him ever again. Maybe his hate channels, but they're losing their grip. I mean, they're all spinning out of control. They got a little too much money in their hands. They all have, problems and substance abuse that's gone unchecked. And it's very easy when you're dealing with stuff to go right back into the things that got you into the places that you were before you got here. So if anybody's struggling with any type of addiction, I'm going to ask you to please reach out for help today. 90 meetings, 90 days. It'll change your life. Many people that have been in the rooms know the routine. However, you're never going to be successful being a piece of shit. I will tell you that. You'll never be successful in recovery being a piece of shit. They literally tell you that in the rooms, right? So hopefully people start wising up. Hopefully people start taking better care of themselves. And hopefully people start getting on track and realizing this isn't about them. This isn't about their coffers. This isn't about their clicks and views. This is seriously a 15, now 16-year-old boy that needs to be found while they're running and playing these games. Those monsters, they'll never avail themselves until they're ready to stop the nonsense. So it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, guys, we did not meet our goal, but I do appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for riding out with me this Saturday morning. Tomorrow morning, we will not do a live until after church. So if you guys would love to attend church, we as the Coffee Club, a group, go over to Countryside Christian Church, and we as a group fellowship together on Sunday, and we are there around 9:05. The service starts around 9:30. So if you guys would like to come and hang out, if you haven't had a very good relationship with God, and or you just are bedridden and you can't get out like you used to, the good news is we have online church. And I love fellowshipping with people. This was never something that we did here. I was actually looking for a new brick and mortar church, and I was communicating with some people, via email. And one of the ladies there was like, I can't remember what I said to her, but she wrote back. She's like, honey, I'm immobile. I stay in a bed all day. You're the highlight of my, it was something like that. And I realized how many people in our audience have mobility issues, that are bedridden, that watch us, that we're their entertainment, that we're their reason for getting up and doing something. And I thought, those people are not able to go to church, and if we could just get maybe a group together, maybe it would be nice to get them back to church. And so we started doing that, and it was very, very successful. It was like a few people, like maybe 10 or 12. And then the next week it was 20. And the next week it was 50. And it just kept growing from there. So I just really enjoy doing that. It's something that we do together. I feel like it makes us closer as a group as well to worship together. But some people actually come in for a few minutes while they're getting dressed to go to their church, to say hi. So it's always so nice and pleasant, and it's great music. It's always a good message. We also have, I post Turkey Man. Turkey Man's another, I don't know with the live that they do for whatever reason. I'll have to talk to him about it, but we post Turkey Man service as well in our community post. I can't forward it for some reason. I don't know why. I can only cut and paste the URL. So I'll have to work with him on seeing what he's got, what switch he's got on behind the scene that keeps me from being able to share it. But I have to do his stuff a little differently. So anyways, if you guys would like to come to church, you're more than welcome. We're there early. We're the coffee club, so we don't go to second service. We're usually there in first. Every now and again we see Elle Fig over there in the second service because she got up a little late, but we won't call her out by name. It's just Elle. She's gonna kill me. All right, guys, you rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. And guys, we're getting back to Sebastian. We can't have any more of these distractions, okay? We just can't. So if you guys have ideas for ways to get back to Sebastian, or some topic items that is specific to trying to find locations of Sebastian, or reminiscing on some key details that might help uncover places that we can start looking for Sebastian, that's where our conversations need to be geared toward. Looking at this case and looking where this case goes, and knowing what a bunch of buffoons these other people are. I've always maintained that arguing with an idiot only makes you look like an idiot. Yet here we are arguing with these idiots. What does that make us look like here on the true crime community, in the true crime community? It makes us look like idiots. So our whole goal is victim and victim focus. And that's where we need to get back to. So hopefully people, I'll lead by example, but hopefully people start gearing their lives, their commentary. If we're true crime and we're the true crime community and we're not the drama community, then we need to get the hell out of drama and start doing our job as true crime creators and disseminating the proper information. Okay, I see. Thank you guys for reminding me. I always forget to do the poll. Does Katie miss her son? Of course, we personally don't know one way or another how she feels about her son, but based upon our assessments of her behavior since the beginning of this case that we could view, it has been determined by our audience, just shy of 1,000, well, just shy of 900, but closer to 1,000 votes. It is 70% says no, she does not miss her son. 29% says yes, she does. So we have a 1/3 split. Here, 2/3 saying she doesn't. Now, again, this is just our assessment based upon her behaviors after he disappeared. I maintain that I feel at some point, this is what I think, okay? And I may not be right about this at all. I really might not be. But I feel that Katie loved her son. And I'm going to use past tense. And I'm going to explain why. And it's not because of anything other than I feel she loved her son. I feel that whenever her and Seth were getting a divorce, this is just my opinion. I don't have really any receipts to produce for you guys. I just have my words. I feel like she loved her son and wanted to take care of her son. And for whatever reason, whether she was, knocking boots with Chris at the Navy and just wanted out of the marriage or whatever the case may be, I believe that she loved her son. She wanted to take care of her son. She wanted to be a mom. She wanted to divorce Seth and take her child with her. Her child was medically needy. She got with this guy or was with this guy before the divorce, which is kind of where we're all kind of leaning into the details of this case. But that really does not have anything to do with Sebastian's disappearance. It's just details of history. That's all. I believe that at some point over the years of dealing with this disabled child, I feel like Chris and his family constantly saying, "Oh my gosh, can you get your son? What is your son doing now? He could do it if he really tried. He's not trying." I just feel like that over so many years just beat Katie up. And then of course her marriage is now it's starting to affect her marriage. She's starting to realize this life that she would have never had any otherwise. She was broke as a child. She never had nothing for herself. She had a lot of childhood trauma and problems, and she's looking at this of having the lifestyle she had never dreamed of as a child that she's now living. They're living in a almost $1 million home. They have these nice vehicles to drive. This is a life that she's never had. And I feel like over the years, just beating her up, I feel like she started to resent Sebastian at some point. And then she started facing her losing her lifestyle that she's never had before, that she absolutely idolized, as a child, looking at everybody else having stuff and her not having that. And here she is finally. I feel like she didn't want to lose that, as well as every day resenting her son just a little bit more because he was different. And it didn't help with her husband constantly in her ear saying it's him or it's me. And I just think that that's really kind of, if I had to place, and of course, this is all hypothetical. This is what I believe they are based upon how this went, based upon who I've learned they are, their behaviors, and looking back in both of their lives a little bit and seeing who they were previously. So that's why I say I feel like she loved her son. And I feel like she still had love for him. I just believe that at some point the resentment of his disabilities just got too difficult, and she had no help and no support because the only support she had just wanted to get rid of him. So now he's gone. So that's really kind of what I think happened. And I think it just happened over time, and it just progressively got worse. And the more the stepfather put his foot down and tried to discipline this boy into normalcy, the more it stressed Sebastian's body. And they were really their own doers of what was happening. You know, the distancing, the using of the bathroom, that was all from the stresses of home, because he couldn't live up to the standards that they wanted him to live up to. And that constant stress, I think, just made him have more breakdowns, possibly meltdowns, defiance. And that was, met with corporal punishment, so to speak, which exacerbated the issue, made the issue worse, right? It made the issue worse, and it kept making it worse and kept spinning more and more out of control until I feel like everybody just hated each other. Now, is this true? Again, I don't know. This is kind of how I see what brought us to February 25th and February 26th. But here we are. And we can look back and see literally a million different things that could have been done had everything worked properly, where we would not be here. And it was just a complete systematic failure, from law enforcement to the Department of Children and Family Services to the school. Like, nobody even reached out to Seth from the school. Like, there is just a full systematic failure when it came to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and why we are here. All right, guys, take it for what you will. God bless each and every one of you, and we will be back either later today or tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. No, tomorrow morning would be, I think, 12, because it's Sunday. We come live at 12. All right, guys, take care and God bless. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.